Hi guys, welcome to World Class Happiness. I'm Dominic. We're looking at a series to do with relationships, and we've already done one in the series. This is number 2. The reason we're doing it in bits is because if we did it all in one, it'd be too much of a long video, and we want people to get all the information, and we appreciate that everyone hasn't got time to sit for an hour and listen to me run on. So what we've done, I've got a copy of my book here because there is a chapter in the book called Partnerships and Marriage, or Marriage and Partnerships. Can't remember which way around it is. Should know. Partnerships and Marriage. But within that, there are like 17 subheadings, which are all sort of elements of relationships that you kind of got to work on. And if you sort of like, do a good job on those 17 points, there probably are more, but I've listed 17. They're obviously things that you maybe need to focus on, and if you do that, generally you're gonna have a good relationship. We've already done one of these, as I said, which was talking about being best friends with your partner who you live with, whether you're married or not. And number 2 is we're talking about trust, honesty, loyalty and respect. And to be perfectly honest, if you're missing any of those things in a relationship, a serious relationship, then the relationship's going to struggle, to be honest. Now, some of the things like trust and honesty and loyalty and stuff like that, they're kind of all tied in together. And obviously, a lot of the time when we're talking about that, we're thinking about infidelity and stuff like that. And obviously, if there has been any issues with that within the relationship that you're in, and you've both decided that you want to have another go and you want to make it work, then what you need to do 100% is make sure that you move on from now and never bring that up again, and never use that against your partners or whoever, and just leave it in the past where it belongs. But always make sure that never ever happens again. It never becomes an issue again. You kind of, people do make mistakes. People do obviously, they do change and stuff like that. That's not to say that if you haven't ever done anything wrong before, you've kind of got one strike. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is at the moment, that's, if you're in that situation, that's not ideal, but that can still work. All right. So move on from here and don't make any more mistakes. Now, so we're talking about those 4 elements, which I think are super important. They're very strong in my relationship. I've been with Claire for 24 years at present, and we've been married since 2008. So we know each other very well. We've never had any issues. Everything's always gone well, and we've always had a happy relationship, hence why I'm doing the video. Now, trust-wise, if you need some help on how to trust each other and be honest with one another, obviously trust, you want to be able to trust somebody that you can rely on them and stuff like that. But also, if you're talking about fidelity and stuff like that, then you need to make sure really that there's no secrets. I think you don't always have to discuss everything that's in your head. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms of, like, if you've got phones, laptops, whatever, and they've got passwords on, you should have no issue on your partner or your husband, wife, or whoever knowing your passwords. And if you have got an issue with that, then there's kind of, they've got a bit of a case to wonder why. Why have you got an issue? But what you'll probably find is, which is the same in our relationship, mine and Claire's, is that we both have access to each other's passwords and that we both know them, but I'm not interested in looking through Claire's messages. I don't really, I'm not hunting for anything. I'm not looking for anything because I know there'll be nothing there. And because of that, there's a lot less likely chance that there is going to be anything, because she knows that I trust her, and same in reverse. I'd trust her staying in a hotel room with, who's the guy who plays for the big guys, Chris something or other, I can't remember his name, but he's a good looking guy. I'd have no issue with them two staying in a room together all night. Be no problem for me. Probably the same the other way around. So always have that trust. So it's not even, so you don't have to even think about it. You just know that's a given. Obviously, in terms of things like honesty and stuff like that, that kind of ties in with the trust thing. But you know, you kind of got to be quite open and honest in a relationship in terms of what you're thinking in order for it to work. You kind of got to communicate really well. As I actually wrote in the book, I used to be the person who used to bite my tongue. Obviously, you know, we're not the perfect couple. We used to have our little arguments, and that's same as all couples do. And there were times that I'd bite my tongue and kind of hold back and not say anything, but then it would build up, and I'd then, you know, that would then be a problem later on because that would all come out. Whereas Claire was like the opposite. She was a lot more fiery, say kind of everything that was on her mind, and maybe say too much. So she'd be one extreme, I'd be the other extreme, and then we'd both kind of blow up at different times. But what we've done over time is kind of, now we're met in the middle. You know, she's a lot less likely to, you know, be fiery, and I'm a lot less likely to hold my tongue so much. So we kind of meet in the middle, and it works really well. We sort of learn off each other a little bit on how to be the other person. So that works well now, and we're you know, everything, we don't argue very often, and if we do, it's usually just to kind of you know, as a healthy kind of balance, and we move forward, and that tends to strengthen us every time, really. So there's never anything particularly serious that we ever argue about. In terms of going back to like cheating and stuff like that, which I never mentioned, if you're the sort of person who says, oh well, I didn't mean anything, or I was drunk, or it was just sex, or whatever it might be, that ain't really, that's not acceptable. All right, that's not acceptable at all. That's just an excuse. That'll never wash, really. Can't ever get away with that. So you know, that's trust and honesty, you know, loyalty, that's all the same sort of thing, really. You know, without any of those things, you know, if any of those things are missing, then the relationship is lacking respect, because, you know, those three things, you know, if you have them 100%, that's what kind of allows you to respect each other, and that's what's going to make a tight relationship, and that's what's going to get you to have a long, happy relationship as well. And it generally works. There's like I say, there's lots of other elements to relationships. We've already done one. This is the second one. I'm going to try and make the videos a little bit shorter. Yeah, and there's still, what is this, 15 more to go. So I'll see you on another video.